Then the fellowship was prolonged like about 2 years. And then during that time, in 1976, it happened this coup d'etat where they began killing everybody. They were killing friends of ours. We were in the university. We knew everybody, I mean, left and right. And the ones that were killed were all the left. And were people that were absolutely innocent. I mean, we knew them, they were friends of us. And our family said, don't go back. We were planning to go to Europe, but we met a nice couple of Americans. I said, try America first. And we tried America first. And we stayed, and very happy to have done that. But the news were there, and we were remembering about what was happening. And that's why I made that, like military dancing with skeletons, which was what happened actually, was death and because military there, they don't have the same history as here. They were mingling all the time with the people. Here it's like professionalism, they are separated. There they were coup d'etat after coup d'etat since the 1930s. So we felt really hurt by that. And then I said, well, we do something that try to give a metaphor of that kind of thing. We live just vicariously because we were not there at the time. But somehow the news reached us. So that's why I did that. But the problem is something I didn't mention is that when I paint those women or the couple, even those things of the tango is always behind there. Because the tango is at the beginning seems to be just the music, but actually there is a kind of a metaphysics behind it, because it's like, how can you say, it's like attitude toward life. It's like a tragic attitude toward life. For instance, when you, it's kind of seems to be disconnected, but if you think of the still lifes have a history that goes back even to Egypt, if you think of it. It was in Roman still lifes. And you see the Dutch still lifes in the 16th century, they always talk about life and somehow death too. So it's very present there. And I think that if you think of something, a music like the tango also has that presence of life and death and passion in between, like a passion between two nothings. And somehow I think that informs a little bit what I do, particularly in the tangos. When I think about these two figures there, they were figures of my childhood. So I put a skull there because it's like a reminder that, well, things stop being and disappear, and you keep living, and well, and one day you won't be there anymore, and that's it. And somehow it's a little kind of witnessing of something during your lifetime. So this, well.
You said just a little bit ago that your paintings are between real realities and how you see them, and
realities and?
You said that your paintings are between real realities and how you see them. That's where they fall, and they're not the abstract.
No, they are not. You mean?
Yeah.
The paintings are real realities and not abstract forms?
Right, right. And I was just wondering, have you...
There is something in between, in the sense that I cannot paint something any place, anywhere, anyway. I have to organize very clearly what I'm going to paint. The painting has to be like in a grid. The mental grid is like they have definite places. If I paint it, you see the way that the onions are under that colander, the orange colander, is very deliberate, extremely deliberate. While I was doing, I would move them like 2 centimeters, 1 inch, until I found the right place. So there is some abstract component in the organization of the figure. I mean, it's not, for me, it's not possible to put things like this and paint it exactly like that. No way, because it wouldn't appeal to me. So there is some kind of idea of order underneath. And that, I think, is part of it, no? It's like, it's part of an intellectual concern, because it's mixed, it's sensitive, it's always organizing. When there are books written about that. In 1951 was published Graves. Maitland Graves published a book about organizing. It was made mostly for publicity and design. But it's a thick book, very wise and very good ideas. And that was also used in Argentina when I was there to give a subject that was called composition, which was an abstract way of understanding what goes on in a painting. If you make abstraction of the object, what happened in terms of organization. How do you put that, why you put that, what's the underlying order in a painting. And you will analyze everything. Well, there was this French guy, André Lot, who was coming from the post-cubist school, and also wrote a whole book, Treatise of the Figure and Treatise of the Landscape, who talks about composed landscape and how you compose the figure in a painting. But of course, with Cubism, that's much easier, because everything is converted almost in abstract shapes, cubes and planes, but it's about the same problem. So there is both of it.
¿Cuál es la referencia a Cézanne? ¿Por qué lo haces? ¿Es para elevar el trato de las mujeres domésticas o por qué? ¿Cuál es la referencia? No, ¿cuál es la referencia a Cézanne?
Well, no, that is because I like very much the painting of Cézanne, of the Joueur de Cartes. Somehow there are humble people there somewhere. And I was thinking also of this kind of homage I want to do to these humble people that are the maids. So I thought it would be interesting to put them at the same level, because somehow it's not challenging, but gives you food for thought, thinking of two things together from different times, no, in the same place. Kind of, you might have some conclusions made about it. But basically that was part of it. And part was also the idea of working on that and see how we can put together two things that are really very, very different. However, what we're talking about was composition and abstract related to the work of art. Well, Cézanne is one of the ones that in modern art was the one to bring up the subject of composition. He was really the one, because he's the least impressionist of the all impressionists. He's more worried about construction than about recording some kind of changing, fleeting light of during the day. So it's all connected somehow.
I have another question about a lot of your portraits. They're almost like photographic. The eyes are straightforward, like the three right there. They're very bold. A lot of your characters, the eyes are straightforward.
You think photographic, you said?
Yeah, it's almost like they're, you know, when you have your picture taken, you're usually looking straight ahead. It's just a real interesting.
Maybe something, maybe something like a dialogue with the painting itself. With a person, maybe I'm looking like things.
It's real personal.
But you know, if you paint something with the eyes averted, suddenly it takes a real meaning, interesting meaning, like it's not the same thing. If you look at the lady there holding the dog, she's looking sideways. It looks strange. I mean,
you wonder what
it looks like she's looking something else. So that adds another meaning to the whole thing, and I have to make sure that I want that in the painting. So, but I didn't think much of that, but it's true.